Hi, this is Erica Dyer with Incoherent Ramblings of a Crazy Bitch, back with one of my closest friends, Nick. He doesn't realize he is, but he is.
You mean close friend slash therapist?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You're my confidant now.
Oh God! As long as I'm not your accomplice, we're okay.
Not yet.
Oh jeez.
You just wait.
Oh God. One of these days, I'm gonna get a call and I have to drive up to the Midwest and hide a body or something.
I am. I'm going to be like, Nick, I need some help.
Oh God.
Oh, gosh.
We're gonna need hydrochloric acid and peroxide. We can do this.
Yeah. We'll make it work. We'll make it work.
Oh my gosh. How have you been doing?
Good. Yeah, I was just laughing it up with my damn sister. I told you guys that I was there the other weekend and spent some time with her, and I don't know what it is. When me and my sister get together, we just start cracking each other up. Or God forbid you actually get our brother in there too. And we just make each other laugh so fucking much. And I was just thinking about some of the shit we were talking about when I was there in North Carolina. Uh, Compliment. Like, you know what a backhanded compliment is, right?
Oh yeah. I'm a guy. I know what a backhand compliment is.
Yeah. Oh, fucker. Yeah, you probably given some. Oh, yeah.
only to people who deserve them. Then
Yeah.
yeah. Usually I'm kind of nice, but if you rub me the wrong way, yeah, you'll get more than a backhanded compliment.
Yeah, she was telling me, God, there was this one guy. How the fuck did she say this? Um she said that she had dressed up. She was going out on this date and she had dressed up. She did her hair, she did her makeup, she dressed real well. And she went out with this guy and he told her, he said, if I could take, if I could rip your head off and put it on my ex wife's body, I'd have the perfect woman. Like, he said, fucking, what?
That's time to back out slowly and leave. I'm sorry. That's some Hannibal Lecter bullshit there. You just need to fucking just like back up slowly. Don't run because he will chase you and just leave.
Yeah, I'm just like, damn, that's not even. Or, God, what else? And I think this might have been the same guy. She said that they were going through some like old pictures, and there was like pictures of her when she was younger, and he showed his sister, and he said, yeah, Rhonda was the most beautiful woman I've ever dated in her younger pictures. You know, if you look at her when she was younger, she's the most beautiful woman I've ever dated. And I'm like, what the fuck is he saying about you now? So then I started telling her, I was like, yeah, I got some fucking backhanded compliments too. I've gotten that shit a lot. I dated this one guy. God, he was such a fucking asshole. Just thinking about him makes me so goddamn mad. Um, God, what was the one thing he did? So this was after I'd had my younger son. My younger son was a couple years old, and I had started losing some of the baby weight, and I thought I'd
Yeah.
gained some back. And I asked him, so we were driving in the car. He was driving. I was in the passenger seat. See, I even remember where we were. And I,
Wow, that's specific.
and I'm sensitive. I'd had this baby, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, do you think I've gained some weight back? And this motherfucker reaches over, grabs my gut, and was like, yeah, you've gained some back, but I'd still fuck you.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm sorry, but if you're He must have not. He must have not cared about life. He must have really not cared about life because him to drive and you be in the passenger seat and him do that.
Uh-huh.
He didn't care about. He didn't care about getting launched through the fucking windshield at like 80 miles an hour. Because that seems like that's what that would cause. It
Oh,
would
yeah.
cause. It would cause you to like just be like, fuck it, we're both gonna die today.
Yeah, well, this was the dude. So this isn't a backhanded compliment, but this was the fucking dude that he would do shit or say shit like that to purposely get a reaction from me. Um, like if um let's say we had um some naked woman on TV or a dance scene. Actually, I remember it now. It was like a dance scene and somebody was in a skirt and he's like, oh, I hope her skirt raises up higher. And I'm like, why are you talking like that? And he's like, oh, you're jealous. You're jealous of me. And I'm like, no, it's just fucking stupid. So then I quit responding. I'm like, this guy's a fucking moron. And because I didn't respond, then you don't care about me. You don't care about me. You don't care what I do. You're not jealous at all. And this fucker, actually, we were at the bar and God, there was some girl it was always like,
It sounds like he's really good at gaslighting,
yeah.
like a lot. He's a gaslighting fucking expert.
Yeah. He was just one of those guys. Like there was some girl at the bar that he was always like, you know, I might have fucked her. I might have fucked her. I might have fucked her. And I wasn't even like paying him any attention at the bar one night.
Yes.
And I'm standing there with this basket of popcorn. And he comes up to me. He's like, you won't even talk to me. And I'm like, why would I? There's nothing for us to talk about. And he leans down and whispers in my ear, because he was tall. He was over 6 foot. And he leans down and whispers in my ear, I did fuck her. So I put my basket of popcorn down because God forbid I, spill my popcorn. And I slapped him across the face. And then I picked my popcorn up and walked away. I'm like, this guy was a fucking dick. But he did that shit all the time. We'd go to a goddamn restaurant. I was telling my sister about this. And because I quit really reacting to what he would say because I knew that's what he wanted, he got worse and worse. We were at a restaurant. This waitress, this waitress like took our order and was like, thank you very much. And he goes, oh, she has a pretty smile. Her lips would look real good around my dick, shit like that. Yeah. Yeah. And this guy wanted to marry me and have kids with me. And I'm like, I don't think so. He'd be like, you're going to be the mother of my child. I'm like,
It sounded like he was a nice guy who got shit on a lot. And then he saw like one of his guy friends being an asshole to 2 girls and get blown or something. And he's like, I'm going to be that dude forever.
Yeah.
And that's what he turned into.
Yeah. Well, good for him. 'Cause yeah. Yeah. So, do you remember the guy I told you about? And this was many, many episodes ago, but I told you the guy that we had split up and he would send me text messages and I ended up calling the cops to see if there was anything I could do. And they recommended a restraining order. This is the guy.
Yes.
This was the guy.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, when I said, oh, there's like a whole bunch more about him, this was the guy. But yeah, I wish I could say he was the only guy that ever did like those backhanded compliments. He was not. He was not. That shit seems to be out there, and women can do backhanded compliments too. Oh no,
I've gotten quite a few.
Do tell. Do tell.
Gotten quite a few. You'd be better looking if you lost weight.
Oh. Fuck her.
I'd date you, but you're not white.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah, I've gotten that before. I've always gotten the what is it? You're a nice guy, but I couldn't see myself dating you, like shit like that. And it's just kind of like after a while, you just fucking quit. I'm just like, I'm done trying to pursue this and trying to get a date or anything like that. It's just like, fuck it. I'm just gonna keep working and
Yeah.
Save my money and be goddamn happy.
You know
That's
what?
all it is.
But you better watch it because someday you're going to realize you're almost 50 and haven't been laid in over 10 years. So don't do that shit either.
Oh God. You know what? I really hope this year you get laid. I really do hope you get laid this year.
I could if I wanted to. But at this point, I'm like, this is another thing my sister and I talked about. It's like, what is the point of it? I mean, at this point, because if I really want an orgasm, I can do that shit myself. I mean,
you need a toy because one of the episodes you tried doing it and you got a couple
I know, I do. I do have a little carpal tunnel. But, and that's the thing. It's like, I don't want to pick somebody up at the bar, especially in Decatur, because, like I know most people here. I don't want to. I got these people constantly trying to write me on Facebook, and someday they're going to realize if you're on my Facebook, we will probably 1000% never date. So like, I just don't do that. I put a lot of shit on Facebook, but yeah, it's like the whole getting to know each other. I know some people love that whole courtship and getting to know each other. I don't. It just drives me nuts.
No, what I absolutely hate is the first date. I fucking hate the first date because it's a goddamn interview. It's a goddamn interview. What it is. And and you get the standard interview questions. What do you do for work? What do you do for hobbies? How many friends do you have? What do you do on the weekends? Like, it's like you're.
Yep. I'm a terrible first date person. If it is an actual somebody asks me out on a date and we're going to have a first date, I'm terrible at it. I'm like so awkward, especially if I'm attracted to them. Did I ever tell you about my date with the doctor? Because I know we've talked about first dates before, but I don't think I told you about my date with the doctor. So,
I don't think so.
So I got asked out by this resident. So for those that don't know, a resident has completed medical school and they're in their residency.
Hold on. Was this the guy that you worked with? Is that the guy?
No, I didn't work with him.
Okay. That was somebody else then. Okay.
But if I did tell you this before, stop me. So he asked me out, and we met in Fort Wayne, and we went to Eddie Merlot's. Eddie Merlot's is a chain restaurant, but it's a very nice chain restaurant. It's like fucking everywhere, right? And I hadn't dated in a few years, and I was dressed very nice. This is a very nice restaurant. I had dressed very nice. I got there a little bit before he did, because we were meeting there. And so I got a drink at the bar, probably my first mistake. But this was one of those very upper class places, which doesn't sound that expensive now. But at the time, you got to remember, I'm making like $10, $15 an hour. And this is where he takes me where, shit, the cheapest dinner is probably $50. So we sit at our table and we order our food and we're trying to have our conversation. I don't know this dude. I know he's a doctor, and like the whole fucking town was all excited. When I came home and I was like telling my friends, everybody's trying to get me, this is what you wear. This is what you say. Let me loan you a dress. This is how you act. It was like, everybody, like collectively, there was like a whole group trying to get me ready for this date. So it was already built up in my mind.
Well, okay, just so you're aware, like some dudes do that as well. Like, cause like if it's me, I'm gonna ask one of my friends. It's like, hey man, I need to not look like a schlub. Like, can you help me out? He's like, all right, man, let's go do this. So like, he'll help me out.
Oh,
make sure I got a fucking haircut and I look proper. My beard's shaved, or I don't wear a beard or whatever. Or he goes to my closet and like we'll be like, wear these things, buy a new fucking shirt, do this and the other. So like, yeah, I'll call a friend up and be like, listen, man, I need your fucking help.
Oh,
like,
that is awesome.
Yeah. Because like I don't know. I want to make a good impression, so I put in some effort.
Oh, that is awesome. Well, that's what they did. They dressed me up for this date with this doctor. And we're sitting there at dinner, and it was good dinner. But of course, it's a fancy restaurant, so they got like, salad forks and dinner fork, and you got your dessert fork, and you got your spoon. And I'm like, I feel like Pretty Woman except for the hooker part. And he just looks at me, and I'm trying to be funny, but I guess he didn't get the joke. Maybe he never saw Pretty Woman. But he's like, he just looks at me. So I'm like, okay, I'm already blowing it. So we both get the filet mignon, and I eat all mine, right? So he's sitting there, and he still has some left on his plate, and I'm like, are you going to eat the rest of your steak? I'm like, this dude ain't never going to take me out again, so I'm going to finish his fucking food. So I took the rest of his food, and I ate his too. So then I'm already going full force now. I'm like, you know what? It's already happening now. And he asked me if I want dessert. And I'm like, sure. And so we settled on creme brulee to share. Well, I've never had creme brulee. Honestly, I'd never had it. And, I scarfed that shit down. I don't even know if he got a bite because I ate it all, right?
Well, okay. Here's the thing. I will give you points for not doing the salad bullshit. I'll give you points for that.
Oh, hell no.
Because going out with a girl and just her being like, I want the Caesar salad is such fucking bullshit. It's because it's like, I'm goddamn hungry. I haven't eaten all day either. I've been nervous as fuck trying to get to this date. It's like I'm getting something substantial. It's not going to not going to be too messy, but it's going to be substantial. And the girl's like, no, I want the salad with the low-fat dressing. Go fuck yourself. Come on.
God, no. Give me that steak
get a goddamn steak like I am. Come the fuck on, man.
So I did. So I ate all the creme brulee, and so dinner was over, right? So we're walking outside, and it's like, well, you want to go see a movie? You want to go hang out at your place? Because I'm like, this is my first date in a long, long time, and when the fuck is a doctor ever going to ask me out again? I mean, let's kind of face it, and I'm like, I'll be fucking him in the back seat of his car. Let's keep it moving. I'm already a full force on this now. And he's like, well, I guess we can go hang out back at my apartment for a little bit. I'm like, yeah, Erica's gonna get her some, right? And I start walking. I see it in the parking lot, like this red Lamborghini or some shit like that. It was some expensive car. And I start walking towards it, and he goes, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going to your car. I'm thinking, fucking doctor, this must be his car. He's like, I don't know what you think, but that's not my car. He goes, I got student loans. This is my car over here. It's like some little piece of shit.
Yeah, the fucking Camry is mine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, that's fine. So we get in his car, and we go to his apartment. Well, I'm wearing a dress, and I had a pedicure, and I had sandals on, and he showed me his apartment, and I'm like, yeah, so I'm going to be trying to fuck him later. And I'm sitting on his couch, and we had just sat down and started talking, and I slipped my sandals off, and I got cute little feet. I wear a 6.5 shoe, and, I'd had a pedicure, and I put my feet up on his coffee table thinking, my feet are cute. And it was like within 30 seconds, he's like, okay, well, I got to get up early, so let me go ahead and take you back to your car. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I put my shoes back on. We get in his car. He takes me back. And so I'm sitting there in his car. And I'm thinking, is he going to give me a hug? Is he going to, kiss me? And I took my seatbelt off, and I'm like, and then it got to the point, it was like, okay, well, thank you very much for the great night. I had a okay. And I start leaning in, and he hugs me. Dude didn't even take his damn seatbelt off, right? He just fucking hugs me. So you know how that is. He's just like, okay, bye-bye now. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. So I go to get out of his car. I don't even have the door shut, and he's already taken off, right? So the door kind of shuts as he takes off. And I'm like, All right. Well, at least I can say I went on a date with a fucking doctor, right? And one of the last things he had said was, I'll call you. Well, I go the next day and tell my friend Dawn, because it was a guy that she knew. And I told her everything that happened, and she starts laughing. She goes, Erica, he's a germaphobe. So when you put your feet up on his coffee table, he probably went back home and was scrubbing it. And I'm like, oh, okay. But then to add salt to my wound, I go to see my own personal family doctor, and I'm excited. I'm kind of slow in the dating department, if you haven't figured that out yet. So I go to see my own family doctor, and I'm telling him about it. Yeah, I went on a date with this resident, blah, blah, blah. And, he knows a lot of the residents, and he goes, what's his name? And I tell him his name. And I go, yeah, and he said he'd call me. I told him about the date, all of it. And he's laughing. And I said, but he said he'd call me. And he goes, he ain't going to call you. I said, but he said he'd call me. He's like, he ain't going to call you. Like, oh. And he never did. He never did call me.
Nice.
But that was my date with the doctor. I can't believe I never told you about that.
No. This is the first I'm hearing of it. Yeah, because I mean,
oh god.
Even if he's like a germaphobe or a hypochondriac, like he should at least like, I don't know, say it maybe. I know it's a lot to say on a first date, but like pull a fucking, I don't know, American Psycho and be like, put on a coaster, like just like I don't know, say something, man. I don't know. I don't know. Well, if he's a germaphobe, why did he lean in to give you a hug? Like, that's also a thing.
Because I wouldn't get out of his goddamn car. That was like the only way I was going to get out, because I mean, like, I wasn't ready for the date to end, but obviously he was.
Yeah, and it's also, I mean, and also it's weird for him to like drive you to his place, then he gets freaked out by your feet on his coffee table, which is okay. Maybe that really like triggered him or something, but then he takes the I don't know. It's so fucking weird to like figure it out, because there's so many like, god damn it, I don't know.
Yeah, tell me about it. I obviously don't know either, because I hate first dates also. I'm just so bad at it. That's me on a first date. That's why I just don't bother no more.
Yeah, I'm just trying not to fart and sweat through my clothes. Like that's my that's my goal.
Oh god.
Yeah, just trying not to fart and sweat through my clothes. Like, all right, good, and make sure I don't have too much cologne on or any of that shit. So.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh god.
And try not to tell any offensive jokes in any sort of form or fashion.
Yeah, well, and actually, I have gotten more relaxed. I am a very offensive person to some people. I get that. And, but I don't like to feel like I'm hiding myself on a first date either. Not that I'm out to offend them. I mean,
clearly with the way you ate, that you weren't.
Well, I was hungry. When was I ever going to be taken to a restaurant like that again?
Fair enough. And once again, thank God you didn't do the salad thing like that. Whenever I see that happen, or whenever it happens to me, I'm just kind of like, Jesus.
Oh my God.
It's one of those things where it's like, it's an act. I know you're trying to like make yourself look better, but like just get the goddamn steak and potatoes. You want to.
I know.
It's fine. I'm not going to goddamn judge anybody.
My sister was always like that. She would be starving going on a date, and she would get a fucking salad. I kid you not. She was exactly like that. She'd come home and eat something, because she'd be like, he was eating pizza, and I was so hungry, but because she didn't want to get like food in her teeth and stuff like that, or spill it on herself. I'm like, fuck that. I'm hungry. I'm going to get some food. Oh, God.
Jeez, yeah, man, that's wild.
So we know that we both had some pretty bad first dates. Have you ever had like a breakup date or a bad date that ended in a breakup? Have you ever had anything like that happen?
No. No, no.
No.
No, not really. Not a date that ended in a breakup or anything like that. Usually my breakups are, like either I get a hey, I need to talk to you, or I get a text message. So it's one or the other.
So
So
I got the weirdest fucking story for you then. So I was dating this guy for several months, and I was my typical self, right? And we took my son. I only had the one at the time, and he was pretty young. Took him to my dad's for my dad to watch him, and it must have been like Valentine's Day because he brought me flowers and candy. And he got me flowers, he got me candy, and we drove from Fort Wayne down to the city that I live in, which was probably a 35-minute drive, to drop my son off,
that's okay.
to drive back up to Fort Wayne because he took me to dinner. And remember, after this date, we got to drive back to Decatur to pick my son up so he could drive me back to Fort Wayne and drop us off at my house. But this is who my sitter was. My kid was probably 2 or 3 at the time. So it's not like I, trusted many people with him.
Fair, yeah, fair enough. But at least he made the effort.
He did. And
so that's not bad.
yep,
No.
made plans, got me flowers, got me candy, took me to this real nice steak place in Fort Wayne. Cork and Cleaver is what it was called. We get this real nice steak dinner. And God, I don't even know how, it was at least 6 months we were dating at this time, I think. And so we eat this real nice dinner. And at dinner, I'm thinking things are going great. I really like this guy. I could see something happening, and at that time I, was trying to find a father for my kid too. But I'm like, I could really see something with this guy. And he goes, Erica, I just don't think it's working out. And I'm like, you don't think it's working out? He goes, I just don't see someone that curses as much as you do being the mother of my children. And I'm like, fucker, I already got a kid. I ain't who says I need to be the mother of your future children? And he goes, you're so pretty, but you curse like a sailor. And he goes, that's not, it's just not working. And I'm like, you do realize you could have saved yourself some money on dinner and the flowers and the chocolates. And he's like, it must have been Valentine's Day or my birthday or some shit like that. Because he's like, well, I felt it was the right thing to do. And I'm like, okay, well, now we got to drive back to Decatur to get my kid and then drive back so he could drop me off. Yeah. Remember the ass?
Yeah, that's.
Do you remember the ass licker guy? That was him. He fucking dumped me. I licked that motherfucker's asshole and he dumped me. Story of my goddamn life.
Oh God! But I mean, that's not. I mean, yeah, good for him for making the effort, but goddamn, that's not smart. Like trying, like in transit an hour.
Yeah.
But so you're killing 2 hours on in that day of just driving, and then he dumps you. It's like why do that? Why is that?
I don't
like what?
know. Isn't that the craziest thing you've ever? I've always, like you said, text message. They tell me in person. They just ghost you. But I've never had anybody take me out on a breakup date. Because it had to have been on his mind before we went. I mean, certainly I didn't do anything in the 40 minutes it took us to order a steak. I just, any other time, hell, before we dropped my kid off, that was so awkward, the ride to go get my kid and then go back home. I don't get it.
Yeah, because that's an hour plus of just like, yeah, being in the car with this person.
Yeah, I've never had any shit like that before.
Jeez, man.
Have any of your
That's
friends, you said that's never happened to you, but what are some other, have you had any friends with crazy breakup stories?
let's see, I'm trying to think. Um breakup stories, God. I don't know. It's I don't know. But there was one guy I had who one friend I had in high school or toward the end of high school, who was who would fall into love like hard.
Mm.
He was and he was buying gifts and all kinds of. I remember we were planning to go to Florida for like 3 or 4 days or whatever, and just like go to Universal, like, because I think Islands of Adventure had opened up, and we wanted to kind of like ride the rides and do all that kind of bullshit. And right before then, he had met some girl at like some fucking, she was like some bank teller or whatever, and something like that, the
Mm.
bank that he always goes to and gets his check or something, or puts his check in. And he's talking to her for like, I don't know, probably like a week or so. And so like, and mind you, every place we go to, he buys her something. And mind you, we
Oh,
drove down. We didn't
God.
fly. We drove down to Tennessee to to Orlando. And every place we go to, he'll buy her 2 or 3 things and put in the
Oh,
trunk.
good Lord.
Like, and I think at some point he bought her like this massive like ceramic bear from some animal store or whatever, and like the trunk was full of shit for her. Like, just like a like he was moving kind of fucking full, like that kind of full.
Mm.
And like I remember him, like he made plans to go meet up with her or whatever, and they talked or whatever, and I think less than a week or about a week later, like they just broke up, or they didn't want to see each other, and she kept all the shit.
No shit.
Yeah. Like he just comes over and he's like, well, that's over. I'm just like, what? He's like, oh yeah, the girl at the bank, because we don't want to see each other anymore. I'm like, what happened to all the shit? What happened to all the shit? He's like, she kept it, man. I didn't, I got it for her. I didn't want it myself. I'm like, but you spent all that money.
Yeah.
He's like, it's fine, whatever. I was like, really,
Give
man?
it to your friends. Give it to your mom,
Yeah.
Don't
I
let
was
that
like,
bitch
fuck,
keep it.
dude.
Oh, my God.
Let's see. Oh, no. I did have a friend in college who was dating this girl, and we were hanging out, and they were having problems and stuff, and um because I think he was trying to find a job, and we were hanging out a lot. He was kind of like just kind of crashed at my place, and so he goes outside, and I can distinctly hear him crying to her as
Oh.
like she's breaking up with him. Well, okay, here's the thing. This guy was kind of a fucking pussy. He was a little emo kid,
Mm.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
And when he broke up with her, like, there was tears in her eyes and everything. And he's like, man, you know what happened, all right? I don't want to talk about it. I'm like, all right, man, whatever. You want a beer? And he's like, all right, fine. So like, we have beers and he talks about it. But yeah, she just fucking broke up with him,
Mm.
you know. But she wasn't a looker either, nor was she really nice. And like, they just, I don't know.
See, I don't understand how women like that get these men. They don't look good. They're not nice. And yet they have some of the longest relationships. And I'm like, what the fuck is going
Oh,
on
the
here?
what the women?
Yeah.
Oh, it's because they have pussy. That's why.
I mean,
That's
really?
that's what it is.
That
That's
is
what it is.
nuts.
It is 5 times easier for a woman to get a man than a guy to get a girl. Trust
That
me.
is crazy to me. Like,
Oh yeah, it's way yeah. If and like it's one of the it's one of the stats you hear about as well for on like Tinder or like OkCupid or Bumble, um women swipe, I guess, right on the guy, or we would the one they
mhm.
want, either as the highest is 20% of the time. That's the highest, 20% for women.
Wow.
For guys, it's 100%. There are like apps you can get. There's a little fucking machine you build that you can just make it, and it'll just keep swiping infinitely on all these girls. And it's just kind of, for dude, it's a law of averages.
Damn.
Because at some point you're gonna find somebody who kind of thinks you're somewhat good looking and who might want to talk to you. So that's how it works out.
Wow.
Yeah. For women to swipe right on somebody, it's between 5 and 20%. For guys, it's like 80 and 90. Like we just don't fucking care. There was even I think there's even a video that I saw recently about that had this guy made a profile of like this like German male model, put him up on Tinder, and then he had this woman who was like obese,
Yeah.
who wasn't very attractive really, and had a Tinder profile for both of them, and he showed the swipes on the woman and on the guy, and the woman was literally 4 times more than the guy. We got 4 times more swipes. I'm just like, that's because guys are just like doing it like random, just like like it's nothing. Sitting on their phone, just moving their thumb from right to left, like that's just how it is.
Damn.
Yeah,
Damn. That is crazy to me.
that's how it is now.
That is crazy to me. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's one thing if, you're obese or you're unattractive, but you have a great personality, but it's those ones that their personality sucks. That's what gets me. Same for the guy, too. There's lots of guys like that, too.
Well, for the women, I can tell you they give really good head. That's probably what it is.
Maybe they do.
Yeah.
Ugly women are more eager. I've heard that before, too.
Yeah.
I have. I ain't saying that just to be like crude. I've heard that, and I can believe it.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably true, but yeah, I mean, and then for the dudes, it's like there's a bunch of factors there. I mean, it could be because he's got money or whatever. I don't know. It could be a lot of things.
Oh God.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, I'm sure it's money.
Yeah, or it could be that he's the bad boy. And the woman's like, I'm gonna change him, and it's like, good luck with that.
Oh God, maybe that's why I get these guys that always need their fucking teeth fixed. Who? Oh, I'm gonna make it. Actually, my one friend, she told me that I like to date fixer-uppers. She goes, Erica, you know what your problem is? You always date the fixer-uppers. You need a project. And I do. It's like I can't date a guy that has his shit together, a good job, his own place. No, I have to get the guy on his third divorce, living in his parents' basement and missing half his teeth. I don't know why. He had a great personality and he did great work around my house. I don't know.
I don't know. I really don't.
I don't either. She could have something with that though. But see, the problem is I fix them up and then they always go elsewhere. Because then I get tired of them. I'm like, ugh, they irritate me.
Well, no, I've heard that as well. There's a lot of I've heard some like Reddit stories where the wife and the husband get married and the wife sees the husband's like gotten a little overweight and he's at home, or he's lost his job and he's not doing well, like he's like mentally broken because he lost his job and he's not like feeling good about himself, and like he stays home too much and he gains weight and he's not and the wife is like, all right, I'm gonna fix him up, and then she does, and then he realizes that he looks better than he looks better than he did when they got married, and he starts getting hit on and stuff like that. So then he's like, well, why am I with her?
Oh, shit, fucker.
Yeah.
God, that reminds me of something my younger son said to me one time. Such a smart ass. What did he say to me? You're too old to be a first wife. Oh, God, how was that? You're too... I don't know. It was something like I'm too old to be... like the first wife, but I'm too young to be the second wife. Or maybe it was the reverse. I'm too young to be the first wife, but I'm too old to be the second wife, so I ain't gonna be nobody's wife. Some shit like that. I was like, you fucker. I'm like at that.
At least he's honest with you.
Yeah, I'm like, I get it, because if you're the first wife, they divorce you when you're like 50. Or 60 or whatever, because you've been married to him while they, like Bezos's wife, he starts fucking around on her once he becomes a billionaire, because ain't nobody won his ass before he was a billionaire. Have you seen pictures of him when Amazon was starting?
I have, man. No. Well, and here's the thing is like,
and then,
here's the thing, like,
yeah. And I'm not that young 20-year-old that's going to seduce the man away. So, yeah, I'm at that age.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well. Yeah, he's such a smart ass. That kid, I tell you.
Yeah. I mean, once again, at least he's honest.
Oh, well. But yeah, so first dates and last dates. I don't do good with either one of them. But who knows, like you said, maybe this will be my year and I will have a date. I don't know. I think guys try to ask me out and I just ignore them because a lot of them are on Facebook, and so I truly do just ignore them.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, Facebook does have a dating app, but I wouldn't trust that at all.
All right. But I do think that's everything. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, I'm good. I'm
All
good.
right. Then I think that is all for tonight. And just remember, send your comments and questions to ericadyerpodcast at gmail.com.